So now we're coming up on Freydis's betrothal, and so they invite King Hakon to come to their court and to have like this, yay, we're getting married dinner. And so there is Yafeu's there, King Bali, Freydis, Ingvild, which is the mother / wife to King Bali, and I mean a whole bunch of other people. But while they are having this dinner that's supposed to be this betrothal dinner, by the way, Freydis is not feeling Hakon. I don't know if I have to really point that out, but she sees this old greasy man come in and he start eyeing her up and down, talking about delicioso, and she's like, ugh. So she is off put, but she's trying to get into it. They're having this dinner, and then in the middle of this dinner, out of nowhere, someone screams out, "For Christ!" or some shit like that. And the place erupts into battle. And of course, our favorite girl, Yafeu, goes into Ulfhednar mode. People at the end of the battle assume that, like she protected her master, Freydis, she protected the princess, partly due to Alftyr, who kind of spins it. But what really happens is Yafeu sees danger. She picks up a butter knife and she starts shanking fools, man. She goes crazy. She's just, and she, like I said, like the world goes red. She's kind of just locked into murder for a couple minutes. Eventually she looks back and she's just surrounded by dead bodies. And, King Hakon is alive. All the royals survived the attack, but there were a lot of warriors that are just dead, right? And Alftyr then gives like this speech talking about like, yo, Yafeu is such a warrior. She gives her the name Ulfhednar, the thing that I've been saying throughout this review. What it is essentially the word berserker which are a type of Viking warrior that like embodies this frenzy, this battle frenzy, where they have like enhanced physical abilities and stamina and all this. Everyone knows what a berserker is, but if you break out the word, they're like these bear warriors. They're supposed to inherit the spirit of these animals that are bear-like and raw, right? Ulfhednar is like the wolf version of that, is the easiest way to explain it. There are like some differences that are between them. There's some rumors about like Ulfhednar are born, while berserkers are trained and created. I honestly am not Norwegian, so I don't have the authority, but she gives Yafeu this moniker, which is kind of tied to this wolf motif that's been painted out throughout the story. So it gives you the sense that this is actually like a real component of who Yafeu is this wolf-like essence to her, considering that everyone is individually identifying this in her looking at the wolf, her mom giving her the wolf necklace, and now this warrior woman giving her the moniker of this wolf warrior. So she's this wolf warrior. What you should do is you should put her and give her to me so I can go train her, because these Christians, they're going crazy and we need all the warriors we can get. Bali is like, yo, she protected Freydis. Honestly, I don't give a shit. Sure, go do whatever. Because now him and Hakon got static because they think that each other sold the other out to the Christians and was trying to assassinate one another. In reality, the person that orchestrated all of this is Alftyr. And she did this because, she doesn't really care about Freydis like that. She's her niece, but she doesn't really care about her. And she orchestrates this because she wants to kill Freydis and blame it on the Christians in order to spawn Bali into action. Obviously, this plan fails, and so she's like, "Yo, give me Yafeu so I can train her up," because she's planning more shit, right? And so that marriage dissolves, and Freydis is re-betrothed to King Harald. And Yafeu goes to go train with Alftyr and the herd. Or so she thinks. Because what else happens is, after this battle, is King Bali goes and has a conversation with Alftir, his sister. And he's like, yo, last time when I sent you out, because right after she brought Yafeu back from that raiding mission, he sent her and her herd right back out to go raiding again, even though they needed to rest, because he's greedy for more riches and shit. And he's like, yo, you need to just keep on fighting and do what you do and get us more money. And she's like, yo, they're not gonna go for that. We can't, like, we need to start preparing for the Christians. He's like, fuck that. Do what I said. Freydis will marry this guy. That'll take care of that. You go raiding. So she comes back from raiding before this whole murder Christian dinner party happens. And he finds out that while she was out on this second raid, she went and solidified that deal that she was trying to get Bali to do with that foreign king in order to protect against the Crusades. And he's like, you went and did deals behind my back. I'm stripping you of her title. And the reason why he found out about this is because her second in command, who is appointed by Bali, is a piece of shit named Snorri. But if you want to know what Snorri's last name is, it's Broscrap's son. Meaning he's the son of Broscrap, the dead dude that Yafeu stabbed up for trying to, Irie. He is the piece of shit son, and he's this little sniveling coward, and he goes and he's been trying to undermine Alftir for years. And when he watches her do this, he sees it as his opportunity, so he reports it to Bali, and Bali comes and he strips her of her title. So when he sends Yafeu to go practice with the herd and the shield maidens, Yafeu is living with Alftir for this, but she thinks she's also training under Alftir. She's not. She's training under the dude who the son of the dude who she killed, who doesn't know that she killed him, but hates her because he's also a piece of shit. And, she's this woman a black woman in this white warrior Norse culture, and they're not fucking with her. And, like, she's bonding a bit with the shield maidens, but without the protection of Alftir there, she kind of has to fight for herself. There's also this character named Ingmar, who's this love interest. Honestly, I dislike him. He is milquetoast. He's uninteresting. He's just he's a good boy, Not to say that you need to be a bad in any way, but I just mean his character is boring and uncomplicated. If you want to hear me talk about it more, I talk about it in the review, but honestly, fuck Ingmar. But anyway, I digress. So she's working under Snorri, and every day she goes home, but she doesn't really get to see Alftir that much because Alftir is out doing things. Like, everyone thinks that, she's just so sad because she was kicked out from her position, so she's just wandering around despondent, right? Until one day, she really comes to Yafeu and her peeps being Ingmar, this dude named Dag, the three shield maidens plus Yafeu, and that's like the crew that she trusts. She comes to all of them and she's like, listen, I'm running away. I have been collecting supplies for a bit, and there's no way that I can stay here with my crazy ass brother. He's about to send this country to hell. So I'm taking the ship. I'm going to go hang out with that king that I made a deal with. We're going to just take care of shit over there because I can't do it here anymore. This is actually her second time running away. We find out later. The first time was when she was younger, and she actually ran away to try and find love because she met this dude that she really liked. That dream ended in disaster. So Alftir is kind of like this lived out personification of who Yafeu could be, and she's very much a cautionary tale about controlling the rage within you. And so all of them are like, yes, we will leave with you. And so she's like, all right, we're gonna go on the day that Freydis gets married to Harold. So on that day, there's like a big bonfire while they're celebrating and everything. And so Yafeu is at the bonfire, and then she slips away into the shadows. And Freydis sees her do this, and Freydis loves Yafeu. She's missed her so much that she left, so she's like, I need to go after her. But there's actually an extra reason why she goes after Yafeu, because a couple days ago she had actually met Harold again for their marriage this time, and so this is her first time seeing him after so many years, and he's this gorgeous, handsome man that she's dreamed about her whole life. And she's like, finally, like, after all these ups and downs, I almost got married to a stinky old dude. This is what I can, like, I'm down to do this. Like, it'll be sad to leave Yafeu, but I can do this. But shortly after she meets King Harold, they're like, yo, let's talk. Let's let your dad and my counselor go talk. Let us go into the woods and, share some one-on-one time, really get to know each other. Freydis is like, oh, this is going to be lovely. I can't wait to get to know you. They go into the forest, and he tries to sexually assault her. What can you really say except, fuck him, But it's also one of those things where, like, you can tell that this is what this is moving towards the whole time. So it's just like, well, are we there yet? There it goes. But anyway, he tries to sexually assault her. She pushes him away, maybe smacks him, I don't remember. But she's like, yo, get the fuck off me. And he's like, girl, you're about to be my wife. Like, it don't matter. And she's like, bet. So she runs away and she goes reports him to her dad, King Bali, and the other advisor. And they're like, why are you making such a big deal out of it? Like, he's about to be your husband. It don't matter. And this is the moment that Freydis truly gives up on the cognitive dissonance that thinking that getting married will somehow fix all her problems. She's like, yo, I'm literally about to marry another version of my dad. I'm literally about to co-sign myself to the exact life that I've watched my mother live. I have to get out of here, like, no matter what. So when she sees Yafeu sneak away from the bonfire, she's like, maybe that's my ticket out. So she follows her all the way back to Ulftyr and the gang, getting ready to dip. Pops out of the bushes, she's like, take me with you. And Ulftyr just trying to murder her. Like, she ain't no love lost. She's like, bitch, get out of here. You're about to ruin the plan. And Yafeu actually, like, backs her up. This is all of Freydis's attempts at friendship paying out, because she's like, I will hold responsibility for Freydis. She's coming with us. And everyone kind of, like, respects Yafeu now. She's, like, part of the warrior gang and everything. And she's a great fighter. So they're like, you know what? Fine. So Ulftyr is like, you're responsible for her. They all get together. Dag, Ingmar, the Shield Maidens, Freydis, and Yafeu. And they're running. Trying to get away. Unfortunately, they were found out. And so King Bali and the troops pop up out of the bushes while they're about to hop up on their ship. And they're surrounded, and they just have to start fighting it out. They're all, back to back, trying to fight their way out. It doesn't work. And they lose, but no one dies. I thought that was I was like, damn, you guys are really fighting for your lives, but no one died. And King Bali rolls up while they're captured, and he's like, you guys are idiots. You guys really thought that I was just going to let you leave, that I didn't have any eyes and ears out here about to find out what you were doing? Like, you thought I wasn't going to find out, Ulftyr? You always thought I was an idiot. I finally got one up on you. He was really vehement because he has this big inferiority complex. So he's like pretending to be heartbroken and stuff. And he is genuinely sad. I do like that, like, even though he is a little bit of a one-dimensional character in how shitty he is, you do see that, like, delusion of him genuinely loving his sister, but not being able to love her correctly because he doesn't understand the position that he's in relation to the humans around him. So he's like, I'm so sorry. I will let your whole crew go. I'm fucking killing you though, because you can't keep doing all these plans behind my back. And Ulftyr is like, bitch, do it. Like, I tried so hard to do deals with you. I've been fighting for you all these years. The thing that she did that lost her the people's faith in her is that after she tried to run away as a kid, she came back and she joined the army, the herd, and people were like really fucking with her. They're like, wow, you're really winning a lot of battles. And there was, I think it was the Danes, but some Danes were attacking, and they had cornered them into this big building. And they're like, yo, we surrender. And Alftir was so filled with rage at this time because she had lost the dude she tried to run away with. She had gone through some really messed up stuff that you can read in the book. And she was so filled with rage that she burned them alive in that building. And that fire then caught on, and it spread to a whole section of the town and killed women, children, guys, like her people. And everyone just saw her as like this fucked up figure now. But like everything that had given Bali his power in the eyes of his people had also come from the battles that she had fought. So he had usurped the things that she had did positive and then put all the negative shit on her. And she's like, listen, I tried my best. I don't care. I hate you. Take me. And so he chops her head off right in front of everybody. And then he tells everybody, you guys are all excommunicated. If I see you around here, you're fucking dead. You better get out of here. Which is basically a death sentence, because this is winter in Norway. So, like, if you do not have anyone that you can depend upon in community, you are definitely going to die. But they have no choice. So the crew minus Alftir head back into the forest. They're trying to make it to a far shore where there is some boats where they could, skedaddle out of there. It's a very slim chance that they live, but it's their only chance. They go into the woods. They're all sad. They're fighting, and everyone's looking at Yafeu for what to do now, because they had seen Alftir treating her as like this successor. So they're like, what do we do? It's that, divine queenliness again, where everyone kind of usually throughout the book, they kind of turn to Yafeu for answers. And she's like, yo, I don't know what the fuck to do. Like, I have no idea what to do. Like, I'm rudderless. She was my ticket out of here. And Freydis then has her moment where she like steps up into herself, and she's like, listen, I have a plan. What we're going to do is we're not going to run, because there's no way we're going to get at it through these winter woods alive. What we're going to do is we're going to go back where we just came from, and we're going to murder my dad, and I'm going to take the crown. And everyone's like, girl, how are we supposed to do that? Like, you in what army? We are from the army, but we are not an army. But she's like, I have a plan. Or maybe Yafeu was like, wait, I also have a plan to help with this plan. But anyway, they get all the thralls together. They do some like underground railroad pass the message along type shit. And they get all the thralls on board for like this rebellion on this night. And they actually pull it off. They sneak in through the ghost town that Alftir created by murdering all those people. And they have like this big battle with King Bali, stab him up, kill him. And then Freydis, while she's giving this speech about taking over, instead of taking the crown for herself, she passes it to Yafeu. She's like, yo, this is the one that actually did everything. She fought the battles. This is who deserves the queen's crown. And obviously my bloodline is cursed. Let's go with this lady, right? Which I personally didn't really like, because one, I really was like, yo, when is Yafeu, like, I'm glad you're getting your feet under you. What happened to finding your dad, finding your brothers, finding your family that were maybe sold into slavery somewhere? Like, you never found them. That was like her big motivator when she first got there. And obviously, like, her life has been in danger. She's been in survival mode. It's not surprising that she forgot that. But taking the position of queen for a land that doesn't really fuck with you like that you don't really understand the political machinations or connection to the other kingdoms around you, and the other kingdoms will probably have a very hard time accepting someone as much of an outsider as you. It would probably throw a lot of shit off, but I digress. It's a okay ending to the book, and the true ending of the book is when Yafeu and, Peeps go to the ocean and they see a ship coming in, and two boys, men really, hop off the ship, and it's her younger brothers who had been searching for her this whole time. We never get word about what happened to her mom, but they find her after all these years and they say her real name. It's the first time and the only time we see or hear it in the book, and it's Henda. So they give her name, which is Henda, and that is kind of like closing the loop of her finding herself and everything. No longer really chasing the shadow of her father, but coming into herself, and now she has found not Yafeu, who she thought she was searching for, but Henda, who she truly is. And that's a name that's given to her by her family, showing how, you know, family kind of creates who we are. You know, there's a lot of meanings. It ties to themes throughout the book that you'll get if you read the book, or maybe you might get if you glean my report. I don't really know how much those ideas lay that out, but that is something I attempted to talk about. Overall, though, I enjoyed the book. I thought it was a fun adventure. I liked the character of Yafeu. I hated the romance, but I mean, I don't think that it's especially bad. I think it's generically bad. So I would give this book, you know, around a 3. I don't want to really give like number ratings to a lot of these reviews because I would like people to just interact with the book naturally. A lot of things that I don't like, a lot of people that I talk to do like. One of my big controversial book opinions is that I absolutely despise this. Don't attack me, okay? I don't like it. It's not like I'm on a crusade against this book. You see, I got scared because the community is large, but I don't like Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller, and I'm gonna stand on that. And I'm gonna end this video on that hate. But if you do want to check it out, I have a website, kingku.com, where I do these book reviews. I'm doing a book club, which will kind of be tied into these reviews. The next one that's coming out is supposed to be The City We Became, which I just finished, which I absolutely loved. So I can't wait to talk about it. But yeah, hopefully that this will be the final iteration of this video and no more tea in my computer.